What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-finals, guys. So let's just get straight into today's video. So we made 7 changes from our last game against Norwich City. Talking about the starting 11, so we started with De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Bailey, Maguire, Lindelof, Williams, Fred, Matic, Fernandes, James and Rashford. Getting to my overall reaction now. Shite. United's 19 games unbeaten run ends. United crash out in the semi-finals. De Gea is finished. Lost for words. We deserve to lose. I'm fuming. What a shambles. Performance was abysmal. Onwards and upwards. We move on. Now, let's just get straight into today's video, guys. What did I make of the performance? It was a dreadful, awful, disappointing, shocking. It was coming, and you know what? That performance, I'm still annoyed from this performance, even though it was over a week ago. And you know what? I'm really disappointed of how we lost that game against Chelsea. Because you know what? We came into that game confident. We were feeling positive. We thought we were going to beat Chelsea. We've beaten Chelsea 3 times this year. So we thought, let's go and beat them for a 4th time. But no. Ollie started the wrong team selection. And you know why I'm fuming with this performance is because it was the manner how we lost that game. There was no fight, there was no passion, there was no pride. Didn't play for the badge, didn't play for the club. There was no character, there was no urgency, there was no fluidity. Where was the tempo? Where was the intensity in our play? We were shocking. We were fucking shambles in that game. Absolutely abysmal to watch. I mean, I do not care if this game was over a week ago. I'm still annoyed how we lost that game against Chelsea. You know what? I was feeling confident ahead of Chelsea. And you know what? I knew what his lineup was going to be. I knew he was going to go De Gea because he knows it's a big occasion. It's a semi-final. I'm going to play my number 1 goalkeeper, and that's David De Gea. I'm going to fully back him. And you know what? I'm going to start my number 1 goalkeeper, David De Gea. Now, I want to question this. Why the fuck does Ollie want to do 7 changes from the last game against Norwich? I would have had a similar team out there that we played against Norwich. I wouldn't change it about. What's that all about? Changing your team selection against Chelsea, shocking. You've beaten them 3 times this season. It's not going to work like that. We went 3 at the back, and we had our full-backs as wingers. Recently, our full-backs have not been playing like wingers. That's why we lost that game. Because the reason why we lost this game against Chelsea was 1, the team selection was wrong. 2, game plan was wrong. And 3, the tactics were completely wrong. Now, you know what? I put out a tweet and I said, you can't blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for that. He may have got the wrong tactics, he may have got the wrong game plan, and he may have got the wrong team selection. But you cannot blame that all on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You have to blame that on the players. Because the players are the ones that are going out there and they have to go and deliver and turn up to a game like this against Chelsea in a FA Cup semi-final. You've got to go and turn up and win the game. We couldn't turn up against Chelsea, and we got our pants pulled down, and we got what we deserved. And what a shambles it was. We deserved to lose, and I'm lost for words. And I mean, De Gea's finished now. He's made 3 stupid errors. The way how those goals went in was atrocious, absolutely abysmal. If you want to be number 1, if you are number 1 goalkeeper for Manchester United, and maybe number 1 goalkeeper in the world, you've got to be saving them. You've got to be saving those type of goals, and they're easily avoidable. He got beat at near post twice, but there was 3 errors that De Gea cost us in that game. And you know what? I was thinking to myself, I personally would have started Romero, because what did Romero do to get dropped? He did nothing. He conceded 1 goal in the whole 5 games that he played in, And De Gea's come in that semi-final, and he's cost us. He's conceded 3 against Chelsea. Now, I knew he wasn't going to play Romero because he knew that this is a big occasion. It's a semi-final in an FA Cup game. I've got to go and play my number 1 keeper. I've got to put out a good team to make sure we can go and beat Chelsea. I personally would have played Romero, but I knew it. He was going to play De Gea. What did he do? He fucking played De Gea, and he cost us. And it wasn't only just him. You can't just blame De Gea. The other players around him, in front of him, in fact, were abysmal, were shocking, and they couldn't go out there and put out a performance. I'm still annoyed how we lost that game. It was the manner how we lost that game against Chelsea. Not good enough. Not good enough for a team like United. Ollie was putting his eggs in one basket, and he was trying to go for this FA Cup. And he wanted silverware, but he pissed about this team selection. 7 changes. Why make all those changes? You know, absolutely shocking. You're playing Dan James. You know, he's not been in his top form this season. It's his first season at a big club in the Premiership. He's coming from the Championship up to the Premier League. He's going to have to get his ground running next season. But if you go back to our team selection against Norwich, which I will do now, so we pretty much started with Romero, Dalot, Bailey, Maguire, Shaw. So if you look at that, I would have kept Romero, maybe not played Dalot, because he knows that at the end of the day, if I would have played Dalot, you know, and he's not being picked now by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Bailey, he played, and Maguire, they would have been a good match in that game. Luke Shaw, it was unfortunate, wasn't fit for the game, so you put in Williams. Fair enough. Then he goes and plays Fred and McTominay. Maybe the way how Chelsea play, maybe not them, probably Pogba and Matic. And then, this is the thing, Lingard, he did well against Crystal Palace, and he should have played that game. And I thought he did a job against Palace, and he did. So I personally would have gone to the 3. I would have put Lingard on the right, Fernandes in the middle, and then probably put, I don't know, Martial or Rashford out on left wing, drop one of them, and put Igalo up top. Didn't need to piss about with the team. If he would have put out a similar team like that against Norwich, we would have won that game against Chelsea. But he decided to piss about with it, and that's why we lost the game. Because of the team selection. It was the wrong team selection at the end of the day. But getting into the game, I think first half, abysmal. We were not great, uninspiring. We couldn't make an impact in the game. The players sort of lost as well. Didn't know what to do in times. There was just no intensity, no tempo in our play. No character, no fight, no passion, no pride. Didn't play for the badge, didn't play for the club. It was unfortunate for Eric Bailly to get injured. Hope he recovers quickly from it. So it was unfortunate for Bailey to go off, and then which forces Martial to come on. But he should have played Martial from the beginning at the end of the day. I don't know why he make all these changes. It's ridiculous. 7 changes from our last game against Norwich. Fucking ridiculous. The way how Chelsea played in the first half, they were better, they played better than us. I don't think they outpassed us. You know, they outclassed us. Frank Lampard pulled Ollie's pants down. First half, we weren't good enough. We were not great, didn't look great. And then obviously Giroud scores just before half time. De Gea should have saved it. Second half, we capitulated. We really capitulated. The players were not on it. Ollie should have made changes at half time. Should have brought on Pogba earlier on. Should have brought on Greenwood earlier on. Should have brought on Igalo earlier on. They came on way too late to make an impact in the game. Obviously then, leading up to the second goal, Williams once again tries to play a long ball over to Wan-Bissaka. Play it simple, Williams, and then that's the second goal gone. Then De Gea should have saved it once again. Couldn't save it. Third goal, costly again, once again, at near post. Apparently it was a Maguire own goal. But we were not good enough. I was just thinking to myself, don't let them win this game by 3-0 and don't let them get a clean sheet. It'll make us look bad. That would have been our worst performance of the season by conceding 3 goals like that. But at the end of the day, we've not lost to a team this season by 3 goals. At least we got a goal back and got a consolation thanks to Bruno, and we got the penalty. Even a penalty to get him back into the game wasn't good enough. The players need to take a long hard look at themselves. It's not good enough. In the semi-final in an FA Cup, it was dreadful, it was dreadful. Now obviously De Gea made 3 mistakes, 3 goals that could have been easily avoided. Is De Gea finished, and should Dean Henderson be our number 1 for next season? 3 goals, 3 mistakes that has cost us. De Gea is finished now. You've got the likes of Paul Scholes backing him, saying, you know, he's going to be back and stuff like that. I know that keepers can make mistakes. I know Edison can make mistakes. He made 2 mistakes against United in the Premier League. Alisson made a mistake against Arsenal. I know keepers can make mistakes. You cannot be making these stupid mistakes. They're not good enough. It makes you look bad as a keeper because you cost the whole team. If you cannot save those 3 goals, it makes you look bad. The whole world is watching you, and that's how you perform. You'll get bantered at the end of the day, and it makes De Gea look bad as a goalkeeper because twice he got beaten at near post. When you get beat at near post, it's fucking embarrassing. As a goalkeeper, you should be never getting beat at near post. Never. People can back him all along that they want to, but he's still not a good enough goalkeeper. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to look at Dean Henderson, brilliant goalkeeper. United sent him out on loan to Sheffield United. He's doing bits with him. I know he's made some mistakes as well for Sheffield, but at least he's not been making stupid mistakes like De Gea at the end of the day. If you ask me, Dean Henderson should be our number one for next season, for sure. Romero played 5 out of the 6 games in the FA Cup against Wolves twice, Tranmere Rovers, Derby County and Norwich City. Romero only conceded 1 goal in 5 games. Did Romero deserve to get dropped? No, he didn't, because at the end of the day, you could see that Romero was playing some of his best stuff in the FA Cup. He's not only just played in the FA Cup, he's also played in the Europa League as well. He can prove himself that I am the second best goalkeeper in the world as well. But at the end of the day, you've got someone like Romero who is played in the FA Cup the majority this season, and then you drop him in the semi-final for a big occasion when you know that Romero's in better form than De Gea in the FA Cup. At the end of the day, De Gea knows that he cost us in that game, but not only just him. I also want to have a go at our fans as well. Our fans were sort of blaming Harry Maguire, saying that he's a culprit and stuff like that. You have got to take a hard look at yourselves, because Maguire wasn't only just the one to blame, De Gea as well. I mean, if you look at those mistakes that De Gea made, you're blind. Get to Specsavers. If you didn't watch that game properly, watch it back. It's not only just Maguire, it's also De Gea's fault for letting those stupid 3 goals in. But if you look at someone like Romero, he didn't deserve to get dropped. He didn't do nothing. I feel sorry for Romero for not getting picked, because he knows he did a far better job than De Gea. What Romero was thinking that day was, I've got my team, Manchester United, to a semi-final in the FA Cup, and my mate De Gea cannot fucking save 3 simple goals. Not good enough. Simply not good enough. It's not good enough. Didn't deserve to get dropped. That's Ollie's fault. I knew straight away we should have gone Romero, but Ollie went De Gea because he thought De Gea was the better fit for the game, because it was a big occasion. It's a semi-final. I feel sorry for Romero, because at the end of the day, he should have been playing that game, and he got us to a semi-final. He conceded 1 goal in 5 games in the whole FA Cup journey. Just goes to show. And then De Gea's gone and conceded 3 in the semi-final. Not good enough. Team selection let us all down. Why do we play so poor from start to finish? People can have their say on this game. I'm going to put this down to tiredness and fatigue, and I'm going to sort of blame this on the FA for giving us such a tight schedule, because we've had to go and play games sort of like on a Monday, and then we've gone and played on a Thursday. You've got to sort of also blame the FA for putting these games on and not giving us enough time to prepare for these games. But then they'll think, oh yeah, these are professional footballers, and they expect managers to be rotating the squad. The reason why I played so poor from start to finish was there was no urgency in our play, there was no fluidity in our play, there was no intensity, no tempo, no intent in our play, there was no transition in our play. We were static in the whole game. We didn't know what to do. Lack of ideas up front, didn't know what to do in the attack. We were taking 1 too many touches in the final third. It's just basics. We kept on losing possession as well. Not good enough. Just everything was a flop. Not good enough. Who stood out in the game? No one. No one. No one stood out in the game. No one. I can't even mention one player who stood out in that game, because we were not good enough. Getting into the goals now. First goal, Bruno steps up and scores a nice and composed penalty for 3-1. Getting into the stats now, possession-wise for Man United, it was 51%, and for Chelsea it was 49%. Goals for Man United, it was 1, and for Chelsea it was 3. Total shots for Man United, it was 7, and for Chelsea it was 12. Shots on target for Man United, it was 3, and for Chelsea it was 7. Getting into the substitutions now, Bailey went off for Martial. Talk about Bailey's performance. Had to come off with a head injury following a horrible collision with Maguire. Fred went off for Pogba. Talk about Fred's performance. A W's pick, Fred regressed to some of the error-laden performances he delivered last season. Wasteful with the ball and came off. James went off for Green. We'll talk about Dan's performance. Solskjaer counted on James' role in the front 2 in the previous wins at Chelsea, and it backfired with a winger out of form all year. Rashford went off for Igalo. Talk about Rashford's performance. Fed off scraps with James as his auxiliary partner and could not get going. Got worse as the game wore on. Wan-Bissaka went off for Fosu. Meant to talk about Wan-Bissaka's performance. Has looked tired all week and never looked like getting at a fresher Chelsea side who looked as though they had rumbled United. Anyway guys, this is where Manchester United's FA Cup journey has come to an end. Unfortunately, United just fell short. We were only 1 step away from the final. Just wasn't our day. Well, I shouldn't be really saying that, because we were terrible on our day against Chelsea. I love to spout on about the game, but I'm really pissed off the way how we lost that game. It was the manner. There was just no character, no fight, no passion, no pride. You name it. This is where now I'm going to conclude the 2019-20 FA Cup season for Manchester United. We're not good enough in the game. We're just going to have to go again next season in the FA Cup and hopefully try and win it next season under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Hope you guys have enjoyed another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new. See you guys in a video in the next couple of days, and peace.